Hello viewers, welcome to the show. It's the Business X-Ray Show, and for starters we have to apologize. We began a bit late, but we're here. It is again a time to get to learn and hear from the business people themselves about how money is made, how money is kept, and how at the end of the day businesses are built. And today we are tackling a very, very important topic. Very important for the fact that everyone knows that in Uganda, majority of businesses will not live to celebrate, I think, their second, if they are lucky enough, their third birthday. Now, one of the reasons is that many fail to build the resilience needed to actually live to see, another day. And today we're tackling that particular area. Why are many businesses in Uganda really failing? And we are doing this through the experience of an entrepreneur who has actually managed to beat a lot of odds. I know many entrepreneurs would actually agree with me and with our visitor in the studio today that yeah, the odds are there and they have to be beaten. But not everyone is lucky enough or has the capacity. Because it's not just about luck sometimes, but building the capacity and the muscle to beat those odds. Now, today's topic is actually trying to address all those issues. He's addressing those issues. And this evening in the studio, I have, as usual, our resident coach, Charles. Charles, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Very delighted to be here, and a very interesting topic indeed.
Beautiful, beautiful. Then all the way from Nebi, West Nile, we have a seasoned entrepreneur, Mr. Dubango. You're most welcome to the show. I'll give you a few minutes to introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Charles. I'm called Kermundu George Adubango, Executive Director, KG Adubango Construction Engineering Works Limited. And we have a sister company called Gaff Apartment. Good evening, viewers.
Very beautiful. Now that is the story of Mr. Dubango. We're going to hear a digest of that story for, using this montage. I'm going to ask my producer to just play for us a little montage of Mr. Dubango to get a feel of what he's doing, and then later we'll get to know the story and how it relates to the business resilience.
I'm Kermundu George Adubango, popularly known as KG Adubango. I'm the proprietor of KG Adubango Construction and Engineering Works Limited. That is the construction company we have. And I have a hotel called Gaff Apartment and Entertainment Center Limited. I was a photographer. I started when our beloved president came into leadership. I got an opportunity when the president brought the decentralization of governance. Then everything was being done here. So when the president came into leadership, he came up with the position that all P7 leavers should have passport and sit exams when they have passport. So from there, I saw an opportunity there. When I came out of school, and I found that there are no photographers in Nebi. There was only one person sitting in Musei called Musei Ndoga. Then I took it up. From there, the issue of taking photographs of P7 candidates came in. Then we divided Nebi into two. I took part of Jonam and part of Nebi. Musei Ndoga took Okoro and part of Nebi. So I performed very well. I got some little money in that photography. Then I went with that money. I had some 2 cows with my father. I went and got the 2 cows. Then I slaughtered. I added on the money I got from photography. Then I opened a small shop in Parombo Trading Center. Now from Parombo Trading Center, I continued with that retail shop. Again, the decentralization of governance came during our beloved President Yoweri Museveni's time. I also used that opportunity. They gave the opportunity to the local people to supply building materials in the district local government, to supply scholastic material, and I was the first person to bring photocopying machine, because by then everything was manual. There was a lot of photocopying machine, so I took it upon myself to buy a photocopying machine, and the first person who got photocopying machine in the whole of West Nile was me. I was even receiving photocopying work right away from Moyo, Ajumani, Arua. We would do here, and then they carry on their vehicle, they go back. And then I started supplying scholastic material to the district. I started supplying building materials and other furnitures. I was in that business. So when I continued that business, and then there was construction work, whereby people were coming from across the Nile to come and do construction work in Nebi here, and the whole of West Nile. By then, people were not really in construction. Then I said, why don't I go into construction? So when I went into construction, I got an engineer, some 2 engineers. We started buildings, some of them Nebi district local government. We started constructing district bridges in different districts, Arua, Nebi, and other building works. So that thing pushed me to this level you are seeing me now. So it came a time in 2003. That's when I got some challenges in business. There was a lot of here ups and downs. But something happened in our life. There was Enterprise Uganda. They came in Nebi. They organized the first training for business people, and they selected us not only in Nebi, up to Ajumani. There are others who came from Koboko, Arua, Nebi. We were there. So these people, by the time they came, they talked to us. At first, I was already having some challenges in business. They wanted us to join that training. I was first of all reluctant. I didn't want to join the training. Now, they convinced me. I joined the training. They went through with us for 2 weeks, and it was not an easy training. Day and night, no sleeping. And that thing again came and turned my future. So I came back, reorganized myself with their advice. We started business. First of all, when we were moving on with the construction, I decided now to also do hotel. Hotel has been doing well. You can see my building here. Before COVID, we were working on it, but when COVID came, we got a very big blow. And for now, it's not all that well. We are just struggling to get only money for paying the workers to maintain them around. So there is a very big challenge in hotel business. And really, I request the government, they should not look only at the hotels in town, in the city or big towns. Even us who are in these small towns, we are having these chokes. The chokes is there. So if really something can be done for the hotel people, because at the end of the day, here also we need to make people to sleep. But in real sense, hotel is not a bad venture. If it had not been the issue of COVID and this confusion of Ukraine and Russia, things have gone down. Why I'm still continuing with the business, it's not easy, but there are certain things you need to follow. You need to have financial disciplines. Whatever you are doing, you should know to differentiate with your money and the business money. Out of all this I've done, at least I thank God. I've put some investment which you are seeing, like this hotel, and then I've built capacity. You know, in this business sometimes you don't benefit alone. Even the people you are working with, they get experience from you here, then they go and get another job from somewhere. That is also your success story. Then at least I've managed to take my children to schools. And then the most important one, it has exposed me. I've known so many people. I have so many friends. like the family of Enterprise Uganda. Those are my friends. I pick a phone call, I call Uchechi, I call George, I call anybody. They will answer me. I want to give thanks to Plan International. These are people who give me business. I thank the IDI. They give me business. I thank the local government. And there are others which I cannot recall. There are some from Kampala. And then in construction, I have local government, I have NGOs who are supporting me. What they are doing is really not building me alone, it's also building the people of Greater Nebi. Because the workers we are employing, there are quite a number of people in construction and in the hotel. So if these people are giving us business, it goes back and it will plow back to the community. We had a West Nile Business Forum in Yaravur here. So we are going to have industrial park in Yaravur. That's a very big opportunity. So we shall have so many factories, we shall have so many business people coming around. That means our hotel will be full, our road will be very busy, our own people will get business, though the youths will get works in the factory, and we shall also get other people to come and join us. That is also a virgin area for Nebi. My advice is the youth should come up. We shall not remain youth all for the rest of our life.
Welcome back. That's the story of KG Adubango, our visiting entrepreneur today, and we're going to learn a lot from him. He has been in business for quite some time. We'll get to know more about that, and he has a very, very interesting story behind that journey you've seen on TV. Charles, your quick thoughts before I bring in KG.
Well, KG touches all the kind of buttons that we want to hear from a business person's journey. He started as a youth.
Yeah.
Where he started was basic. He just needed a camera, and the transport was his feet.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he must have been doing it from his home.
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, along the way, he did one thing: saving and reinvesting, saving and reinvesting. And that made him to begin to grow to the next openings. Yeah. Openings are always there. Start from where you can take off immediately with the resources that are available to you. He started now becoming a supplier of scholastic materials. Then from there, he bumps into the district administration. He begins to take government contracts. He begins to build. But as you can see, he was now hiring engineers. A person who went to, he will confirm to us what school, what class he remained at. But now he was doing road construction using engineers available in the marketplace. As he makes more profit from there, he buys land and starts constructing a hotel. As you can see, that hotel now has got the old part, which is fully in use, and is now beginning to put up another bigger one as expansion. But he continues to have the construction arm as well, clearly telling you that never undermine humble beginnings. But as you take off with those humble beginnings, there are certain minimum principles that will make you to scale. It doesn't just happen because you moved from being 25 years, now you're 32, you must be a certain size of business. No way. Because all that comes with ability to generate income, save part of it, reinvest it, and keep growing.
Beautiful.
And then, as you can also see, building partnerships. He was doing it along the way.
The networking.
Yes.
Very beautiful. KG, let me move to you. You know, in between that video, there's where you mentioned, and I want to begin somewhere in the middle, and then I go backwards and then come to the front. The viewers will bear with me. There's where you mentioned the challenges, because you categorically stated that, you know, by the time Enterprise Uganda came in, you were contending with a certain situation. If you can paint a bit of a picture about that situation, what it was.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, and thank you, Mbogi. Yeah, it is true. It was, by the time I was having that challenges, that is the time Enterprise Uganda came for the training. And the challenge came all about getting loans without plan.
Okay.
You know, loan is sometimes good, but sometimes loan is dangerous. So you need to know the kind of money you are picking and where you are putting it. And then you need to ask yourself, now I'm getting this money from the bank. How will I pay it back?
Yeah.
Is the business I'm picking, I'm picking the loan on, worth paying the money I'm picking or not? And before we were just picking money. Any person comes from the bank, said, you are doing this, I can give you money. Like for my case, that hotel you are seeing, I built that hotel, the one which is this side, which is already in use.
Operational, yeah.
I built it up to roofing, but I ran short of money. And some banking institution came and said, why don't we give you money? We can finish this building for you.
Yeah.
You buy the equipments, you furnish the place, you start working, you get money. You start getting money, then you pay us.
Yeah.
Then I didn't mind of, they said we shall give you in the grace period of 8 months. That was what they told me.
So you
But
hear
I did,
that?
Yes, I hear that. I said, I
You've
think
been struggling for a period of time.
Yes, now
and
I
you want the
think
money to come in.
exactly.
Yes, I hear you.
But I didn't ask myself about the interest.
Yeah.
When am I going to start paying the interest? You see there? So when I picked the money, we started rushing with completing the house. I flew to China. I went and bought equipments, beddings, what, chairs, everything. I came.
They were building day and night.
Yeah, of course, yes. So when we came back, claims started coming. The first month, pay the interest. Now, the same money I've picked, now I have to relax. I have to relax the condition.
Yes.
We are paying part of it now in form of interest.
You're being part of the road. I hear you.
Oh my God.
So by the time the 8th month was coming, the interest that was paid was quite some good money. The principal now you need to start paying.
As well. Wow.
The hotel started working, but I could not meet the Nini now. Because now, in the 9
The
months,
installment.
yes, in the 9 month, I was now paying the principal and interest. That is where now I started seeing stars. I would grab money from here, run to construction, because this money, because GAF is a standalone business and the construction is a standalone business. Now I would say, construction now try to help GAF pay some loan, do this and that. Still things could not come. So by the time I was now stressed, looking for money to pay these loans. Now Enterprise Uganda comes in. They picked us from Jumani, Moyo, Koboko, Arua, up to Nebi. We came, they got us key business people. And with the stress I was having, Charles, I felt that I should not attend that training. But trust Charles Ochichi here. Ochichi said, no, KG, don't mind, come and attend this training. I said, no, Charles, I'm already in problem. This training is not going to help me. They said, no, you come. I said, then I have a friend of mine called Amaza Emmanuel. He's a businessman from Ajumani. Amaza Emmanuel said, no, my friend, let us go. Let us go. And other friends, because the people who were attending the training with were all my friends. Then I said, okay, let me go. So we went. We started first day. I was not myself. We trained the whole day, the whole night. We were given assignment. Those assignments were tough. You could not sleep. By the time you are thinking of sleeping, morning has come. You go back for training.
Yes. And then
The
another
second,
assignment.
we started getting headache. Then I said, me, I'm feeling headache. Ochichi said, take water. Don't even take Panadol, drink a lot of water. He was my doctor, he was my trainer, everything. Then I finished the second day. I started seeing some sense, Charles. I started seeing some hope.
After the second day?
After the second day, at the end of the tunnel. So when we continued, they started giving us some tips. Then I came to realize that what I was doing in my business was not what I should have done.
Okay.
So when we continued, within a week, I was now stable.
I hear you.
And we have started seeing the benefit of Enterprise Uganda.
Hold it there, KG. We'll come back to what you picked from there.
Yes.
But here I want to bring in Charles, and for some selfish reasons, but most importantly for the good of our viewers who are watching us, with the issue of the loan and managing the loan. I know with your experience as a former banker, I'm sure your counsel in this particular area can be quite critical. I mean, here you have KG. He has moved a journey, you know, with his hotel establishment, and in between,
Yes.
a banker comes in.
Correct.
I mean, clearly, he admits he really didn't prepare for that. It was just money there. And I think it happens for a number of business people.
It's a very interesting observation, and something the entire audience watching this program should take heed and pick some lessons from. Here's how bankers work. When a bank positions itself to cover a particular area, they will survey that area to establish who are the potential people I can work with and learn and trust to bring back the money. Because banks work on trusting the taker of money to bring it back. So they will not look for every Tom, Dick and Harry and just say, you seem to be looking for money, let's just give it to you. They will look at what you are doing, see what you have been doing, and see your kind of business acumen and say, this fellow here, even if it's in another bank, we can also work with him. So when you are prominent wherever you are, your bankers will locate you and tell you, you are good, let's work together. Let me say this, that's not a bad thing. Bankers are just doing their job. They are simply saying, you qualify to come for a resource which is of a public nature. These resources in a bank are depositors' money. And you qualify, you have a land title, come and take money. Now, the day they come to us and talk to you like that, were you also at that time looking for that money? Most likely the coincidence was not necessarily exactly the same. But for a banker, he says, this is the time I must give away some resources, but should be given to somebody who can bring them back. They have talked to you. It is up to you to say, the timing for now, not quite. And even if the timing is correct, maybe this is the amount I can manage. Because the repayment is of this volume, I can only take this volume. In other words, the first duty to determine the purpose of the loan and the volume of the loan and the timing of the loan, the first responsibility lies with the potential borrower.
Beautiful.
Our brother here was building his hotel. If the bank had not come, he would have still continued at this pace. But now when the banker came, he said, this looks very good. So I can even finish it earlier. And in the excitement, he forgets one fundamental document that binds the relationship. They call it a loan agreement. That document states the amount, the interest rate, the principal, how you will deliver all that money, and the security you must give. All that is in there. But in the excitement of getting a banker giving you money, many times you will not finish the entire document. You simply say, please, this is the best thing I've been waiting for. Where do I sign? In there, interest rate is stated. The best word that you will want to hear from that document, even if a bank by accident mentioned that by the interest rate you will still pay, the word grace period is grossly misunderstood even by the very educated.
And I want you to pay a bit of attention.
The word grace period, it seems to people to say, please relax. Take your peace. You will not pay us until after 2 years. Do you know that each bank has got a maximum grace period? And each time a borrower hears the maximum a bank can give, now they can give a grace period of 12 months. Everybody wants 12 months. Look at your situation. Do you need 12 months or do you need 6? If you give yourself 12 months and yet your money can start coming before the 12 months, what will happen? You start diverting this money. By the time it is over, you have gotten too used to putting money elsewhere that you cannot now pay that loan. You took a wrong grace period. Number 2, the grace period does not include repayment of interest. Interest is payable immediately. Now look at what our brother had to do, and I want the Uganda to know that what he said was extremely important. He got the loan, and because this people now wanted the interest rate immediately, he picked part of the loan to pay the interest. So for the first 2 or 3 months, he looked like he's current, he's managing, but he is using the resources for development to pay the what? Interest. So the assumptions for completing the hotel are immediately distorted. Extremely honest sharing of experience from Mr. Dubango here.
Quite important and quite loaded. So, Keji, let me come back to you. So you attend this Enterprise Uganda session. First day is there. Second day starts to make a bit of sense. So as you go into it, what are the key learnings you're picking in your situation?
In my situation, as we progress in the training, there are some other things we're underrating in business. Financial discipline was one of the things they trained us. Networking.
Exactly.
Networking was the main thing they trained us. And trust. Trust. When you are doing something, will your employer trust you in what you are doing?
Correct.
Will your employer know that what you are doing is correct? Because the employer will trust you. Give it for example, buildings. If you are doing somebody's building, we do buildings, bridges, everything. The employer will not be with you there. But it is a test of time which will judge you whether what you have done is good or what you have done is bad.
Very true.
And Charles, you know, the worst business is construction. A doctor can make mistake, the patient dies, and he will be forgotten. But in construction, you make a mistake, the mistake will remain to be seen for the rest of your life. So you will start having trauma, and people will talk about you when they are showing, who did that? It is KJ Construction Engineering Works who does that. So another person will not give you job, because you will be now the point of reference. You look for job, they said, but the other time you constructed a bridge on this river, the bridge collapsed. This man, don't give him job.
Or it has some weird curves.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that thing in business comes into building trust. When people say, you can give this person job because he did this thing for us and the thing was properly done. That one will build. People will give you the right, give you the job. And then another thing they taught us is commitment. When you have accepted to do something, commit yourself and do it properly. Let both sides go happy. Whether you make profit or you make loss, it is already commitment. Do that thing and leave both sides be happy. For example, if you make a loss and you do a good job, you will tell your client that, well, this thing, we do it, but I think something within the cost, this kind of thing went up, we just did it at this level. So we made a loss, but it is better we separate in a good way. The person who gives you the job will also what? Next time said, the other time this person got a problem, let us give him this to pay him. So these are areas they taught us.
You mentioned a very important aspect, and that is, if I bring in Charles again, the issue of networking.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I want, because I know you didn't start with it by accident.
Yes. Yes.
I just want to know, in your journey, how has that played, you know, in supporting the journey you've trekked so far?
Yeah.
And maybe paint for us also a little bit of a picture of where you're coming from as a person as you transition into entrepreneurship.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm just from a remote village called Jakok village in Panyimur sub-county. Now Panyimur sub-county falls under Pakwach district, but by then it was under Nebi, because now Nebi is splitted into 3 districts, Zombo, Nebi, and Pakwach. My father and my mom, they were peasant farmers. They, at least they managed to bring me in Kampala school. I was in Kololo High, and from senior 1 to senior 4. Then my parents said, you know, I'm a sibling of 12 children. In between, the 10 of us died. My eldest brother is a peasant farmer. I'm the last born.
Wow.
Okay.
So my parents could afford to take me up to senior 4, but in Kampala school, I was in Kololo High. Now from there, they told me, they were open. They said, no, my son, now we cannot afford paying you senior 5 and 6. But with some small knowledge I got in Kampala, I made some contact here and there. I said, no, I'm not ready to go back to my village. Let me just see what I can do now on my own.
You had become a city man.
Yeah, I've become a city man.
Yes.
So I went to Radio Uganda. I had some friends who were training in, by then the school was called Alex Ojera School of Journalism in Radio Uganda here just. Now they have changed the name into School of Graphic and something blah blah like that. In our years there, they were calling it Alex Ojera School of Journalism. So I just went and told these people that, you people, I'm from a poor family. What I need from you, you are my friend, teach me how to take photographs and how to develop it, how to make it secure, and then from there I go to see my ways.
Cameraman.
So from there I picked up on that.
Yeah.
I went back to Nebi. I didn't know how I will start. I said, I have my feet, I'll walk. So I started taking photographs on foot. I would walk.
House to house.
House to house, town to town. Now, God blessed me with a bicycle.
Can you imagine?
The day I got a bicycle, that one was really my Christmas.
Big achievement.
I celebrated, very big achievement. So what happened, I bought a bicycle, and then I managed to get some money. I bought, those years, there was a certain radio called Nia. The radio was called Nia. By then I think, Charles, either you are not there or you are young.
I think I'm the Sound Solo generation.
Sound Solo, yes, I remember.
Sound Solo.
Yes.
Ours was Nia.
Okay.
Yes.
So I made some carrier bag. Whenever I'm going to do some photography, I carry it. I tune it. Music, I play Congolese music. The music I'm playing is my fuel.
Yes.
So I would ride in this town, Parombo, Nebi, Paida.
And people would hear the music.
Yes.
And know that is KG.
Yes.
KG.
So I would come, take photographs, live there, go the other side, like that.
I hear you.
And then my bank manager was my mother. Because my mother was very strict. Whatever little money I get, I take to my mother in the village. And sometimes if I want to buy if I want to go and drink and refresh with my friends, I deceive my mother. I just tell her that, Mommy,
Yes.
I've run short of film for taking photos.
Yes.
She will give the money while I...
You have to give a very strong reason to get that money out of that.
Yes. And she will make sure that I must refund that money after taking photos.
Wow.
So my mother was really very good in keeping my money. So I continued. Then I progressed into a very old motorcycle. The motorcycle, my home was in Parombo. So I would went from Parombo to Nebi. The motorcycle will break down for me for at least not less than 3 times. I reach Nebi when I'm very dirty, but it helped. Then, So that is how we started. Then now where the network helped me was by the time our government, as you have seen in the TV, this decentralization of governance which the president brought in, this president has brought a very, very good program. If this decentralization can continue the way it used to be, the whole country will be somewhere. Because by then, most of the money were going down to the local government, and local government was having money. Circulation of money was there, and the people really, there was no much poverty in the community. Now, what happened? Why you should really treat everybody, whoever meet you, treat the person well. Because one time you never know, the person will help you somewhere. There was a young man who was in the university, I don't want to mention his name. He would go for his intern training in Panimur, but from Panimur he would come to us in Nebi, in Parombo, because I started my business from Parombo. So from there, because at first I was working with my uncle called John Kayompaton, then he enticed me to start business. So as we would look at this young man, and right now, up to now, I'm his friend, we are friends. So this young man came and told me that, please, why don't you go and register with the Nebi district local government? There is a lot of work there, but there are no people to do it. Good enough, the person who, some of the people in local government were also my friend. They said, yeah, there are a lot of things you can do with us here. If you have the money, you can do that. And I registered my company, and we started that construction. I got an engineer who was supplying scholastic materials, who were doing all sorts of things. And because people were refusing that, they cannot work with the government, because government take long to pay. But with me, I said, business is all about risk. That's why in Kiswahili they call it biashara. You either gain or you lose. Let me try. But eventually, I saw that the thing was working well that time. So networking really helped me.
This young man opens your mind.
Exactly, it opened my mind.
Charles, what do you speak to that?
It's a very brilliant story and very practical. Speaks and delivers a lot of lessons. When you listen to KG's story, a young man who leaves school at senior 4 and there are no resources, you can see the power of mindset there, where somebody says, if only I can get this kind of equipment and I get this knowledge, and that's key. Young people want to get into things without acquiring this knowledge. He went and asked for some bit of skills in that journalism school and said, I want to do this thing with a bit of professionalism. He does it and he does it well. But he went there because there was somebody who inspired him. There was somebody who was doing it.
True.
So as you see anybody trying to go into business, it doesn't have to be you to be the first. Somebody has done it, understand that person, and then ask yourself, what do I need to get started? Just needed his feet and that small equipment, and he took off. Later, he saves and reinvests, he gets a bicycle. Later, from a bicycle, a motorcycle. Then come in the aspects of networking, opening you to more opportunity. But also that comes with a hunger to keep growing. Because if you met somebody who says the opportunities here and you are comfortable with where you are because you came from a peasant background, you will not necessarily tap into those opportunities. But if you say, so that can be done, he went into that. The other thing that you see from our brother here is that he couldn't trust himself adequately to contain liquidity. But he said this old woman is rigid. She picks money and she knows how far I have come. Let her become my bank. So you can see how we simplified a saving vehicle. It could be a circle, it could be microfinance, but should be such a vehicle that does not allow you to easily access your resources without you having a purpose.
Yes.
So he picked that habit, and that was extremely useful, and he made sure that he respected the old woman. Going to where he picks the desire to be trained, the lesson that comes out of that is this, and it's important for the country. You could have the best entrepreneurs in West Nile, in Ajumani, in Inebi, any part of Uganda. Those fellows are moving with problems. I want the government to have a program dedicated to fellows like him and giving them the kind of training that they need to move on with businesses that keep growing. Otherwise, it is easier to imagine that this peasant who is having zero income is the one you want most. The cages here are the fellows now who are giving taxes to allow you to reach these fellows.
That's right.
Make sure these prominent, currently visible enterprises are not taken by excitement.
Yeah.
Look at the way he signed the loan agreement. At this level, he just said, give me the grace period that's available, I want it.
Yeah.
But he didn't plan for how to handle the interest during that period.
And there are many business people who
There are many business people right now who are appearing to be very prominent across the country. They are not sleeping.
That's true.
They are not sleeping. And what is causing them not to sleep are those fundamentals on how to run that business with financial discipline.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yes.
Thank you, Charles. Viewers, on that note, we're going to take a very short commercial break. And when we return, of course, you're going to be part of this discussion. So we again flash that WhatsApp number. You just send your question. We'd like to get also your name and where you're coming from, or you know, contacting us from, so that, KG here and Charles can be able to answer your question. But we'll pick it from there after this very short commercial break. Dear viewers, welcome back. It's again the Business X-Ray, and today we have a very, very riveting story of KGO at Bango, all the way from Nebi. And he's a very quite grounded businessman from that part of the country, and he's sharing his story of resilience. And we've heard quite a lot from him. He's into quite a number of areas. Construction, of course, he has done stationery before. He's into the hospitality industry and a couple of others. And I want to come back to you, KG, before I bring in Charles. How do you manage, again from your experience, how have you managed, to do several businesses and move them the way you've moved them? Because, you didn't start yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I do? I know I cannot manage alone, so I have a structure. In our structure, above me, we have board of directors.
Okay.
This board of directors oversees construction and hotel. And then from below, I'm there. I also oversee construction and hotel. Below me, I have the managers. There is a manager overseeing construction, and then a manager, the management seeing construction and management seeing graph. And then below the managers, we have those other departments, which is being overseen by manager.
Very interesting, KG.
Yeah.
You mentioned board.
Yes.
Above you.
Yes.
I haven't seen, and Charles here can confess to it, that most proprietors, sole proprietors, because yours is not like they say a listed company or a public entity. It's your company. These are your entities. It's not very common to see proprietors ceding some power to another. It's my thing. I have to run it. I know how I got here. So tell us about that. When did you choose to take that direction? And how easy was it for you to make that decision?
Charles, I took it like that because I know I'm not perfect all the time. So much as I'm the owner of the business, there should be somebody who can also supervise me. When I'm not doing something which is okay, they have to rein on me. When I'm having challenge, it is them to come and support me. And they are serious people. I cannot mention their title, but they are very serious people. And these are people, if it is no, it's a no. If it is yes, it's a yes. And I should appreciate, because they are the people who are advising me how to run my business. They have not come to kill my business. Their interest is to see that the business is there to live. And their happiness is to see that even if I retire, the business must remain behind. So they have known even the inside. The chairman board, for example, if I'm going on a trip or I'm not feeling well, sometimes I even give all the powers to the chairperson board. He runs all the two companies, construction and the hotel. He runs it. And when I come back, he gives me report, and then I take over. Sometimes when I'm tired, I tell him, the chairman with the board members, I'm tired. They said, go and rest. So it's really very good, because if you get people you trust to be on your board, really, if you trust them, let them be above you to check you.
What benefits have come in?
Yeah, the benefit is immense, because when I'm having challenge, they stand with me.
Okay.
I'm not alone. They stand with me. And the advice they are giving, because in business there is challenge and also benefit. So they're standing with them, and the advice they are giving gives me courage to do my business. And they, like recently I've just said, now I've said, when I'm going maybe on a safari for some time, there are at least some people to fill my gaps.
They don't say, let's wait for KG to come back.
Exactly. They know the business. They will take the decision without fear or favor, because I trust them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Charles?
If there be one thing that tends to bring down successful entrepreneurs, it's failure to distinguish themselves from a growing, prosperous business. And that gets manifested by the way you reach the resources of the business. You will be saying, I own this enterprise, it's mine, and I want some cash, and I'm going to take advantage of an opportunity to buy prime land here, and I'm going to do it. Nobody to consult, nobody to be accountable to. Oh, yesterday the priest called me and they said they need to improve the church. Please get me the other money that you are going to pay for the installment for the bank. The bank can wait. They called me the other day. Those are my friends. Let's take that money over to rehabilitate some facility for our church. It sounds great, sounds wonderful. You have overmixed your emotions with this entity that does not know the church. This entity can have a budget line called donations, and that budget line should be properly approved. It has a ceiling. Beyond that ceiling, it cannot be again granted resources. So why am I bringing this? I'm bringing this because there are two things that work for you to separate yourself from a business. One is policies and procedures. The other one is now making sure that you live and behave and implement those policies. That's where the board comes in. The board will tame your appetite, tame your greed to overuse your power. The board will give you the targets, the goals, the expansion program, which is properly structured, because many businesses are collapsing because of random removing of money. So the board is that instrument you need, or that level you need to now begin to get yourself to separate from that business, and you begin to follow reports, records, and policies, as well as goals as is set out in the board arrangement. But it puts one thing into perspective. A board is not just mentioning names. Oh, this is my uncle, let him be on the board. Useless. You are bringing somebody who's looking for survival. Everything you want to be done, they will be endorsing it. It's worse than having no board. Bring fellows you have respect for. Bring fellows you can tremble as you touch resources that are not properly allocated. It's your business, fine, but you should be able to tremble when you are touching resources for which the budget that was approved by the board did not provide. So that combination of having that structure in place, but the structure properly populated, will create a lasting entity.
Beautiful, beautiful. Viewers, you can be part of this discussion. Again, we're going to flash that WhatsApp number. I've seen some of the questions coming in. We're going to tackle them in our last segment of this show. It's good. Let's have them, and then have KG here and Charles, respond to them. Now, KG, again, I know there are quite a number of business people, especially, Uganda is a largely young, country. And we have quite a number of young people that have gone into business. They are struggling. There's something which Charles, KG brought out earlier. I mean, in his story, you can see he began with the little he could get at a time.
True.
There's always that excuse, I don't have money, I need this and this and this to start. Picks a camera and starts walking on foot.
Yes.
Then the bicycle finds him.
Yes.
Let a motorcycle and then other things.
Correct.
I think that was a very, very important thing.
Extremely important.
But there's something I want to ask again within that broader context. You begin and build your business operations within an area. I would say your home area. And we've seen many entrepreneurs giving that as a challenge. Sometimes they want to get out and do business the other side because of failure sometimes to deal with the dynamics that operating in a home area also presents. I mean, you have your uncles there. You have those guys that saw you growing up, probably ate their mangoes.
Yes.
And so how do you reconcile all those and continue to be a budding entrepreneur that you are?
Yeah, Charles, business, first of all, you must have the ideas.
Yeah.
Whether you're in Kampala, whether you're in Arua, or in my village, Jakok there, or in Parombo, first of all, have the ideas.
Yeah.
When you have the ideas, money comes later. I can take 50 million and take to somebody who has no idea, and I tell him they do business. He will fail to do that business because he's not prepared. He's not prepared. That's why, for me, I said, whether I don't have my uncles, whether I don't have my aunties, whether I have them, I was going to succeed. Because already I had the idea with me that let me start. And what propelled me from starting this idea was the issue of decentralization. So I said, now, why don't I take this opportunity? So the idea is first thing, and then the issue of capital comes in later.
Can come later. That's beautiful, and I can clearly see that coming out.
Yeah. So when you do things like that, and you bring in loyalty to what you are doing, however small the money is, you can make money. Charles, I want to tell you, there are some virgin business areas which youth can do. They may look at it as a sort of insult, but it is a good business. We have towns, people who comes from the village, they go to market, they go to other areas. If you go to town authority, you ask them to give you a small piece of land. You sink a toilet, and you put a nice toilet. One part for flush, toilet, another one for pit. You put urinary. Everybody who's entering there pays 200 shillings. 200 shillings. You bend low to that business. If you receive around 100 people in a day.
Now the challenge, you want to begin somewhere.
That is the problem. You will find the person who has started this business with the time will become a millionaire.
I hear you. We don't want to get our hands dirty.
But people don't want to do that. They say, how?
Beautiful.
But for me, I said, let me start on foot with the camera. The camera was just a camera of 80,000 by then. And it was 8,000 that time.
I hear you. And you began and started to take your journey. How do you deal, now that you are established, you are where you are, how do you deal with workers? How do you manage, your human resource for them to continue building and working?
Well, That's another challenge we get. There are some, as I've mentioned there,
Yes.
some people can work, they go away.
Yeah.
Also, you said bye-bye. Don't separate with them with the anger. Wish them well. And they even come to me. They ask for recommendation. I give. Because you never know, next time he will go and talk well about you there and he will give you business. But there are also some who have said, I'm there now, we are with you. And I'm with them. And those are people I also trust. We work with them. Not that those who will go, I don't trust them. I trust all of them. But those who want to go, give them a leeway. Because in that clips I mentioned, I said, whoever will even leave the company, go to another company, it is also my pride. Because they will say he is from this company.
Yeah.
Like an engineer, if he leaves, he goes there, what he's doing, it makes the reference from there. And they also give me some time business. Even there are some people from the hotel, they leave, and we wish them well. You will find even them, they are what? They talk well about the hotel. So it is always good if you're working with the staffs, don't envy them. If they are growing, it's your pride.
Encourage them.
Let other ones enter. So my company, I'll put it as something for mentoring people now.
Beautiful.
But we make sure that whoever goes, we bring in another person to that place.
Then there's the aspect of relatives coming, they want a job here.
Correct.
An uncle coming, who wants to be fixed somewhere. How do you handle such cases?
Yeah, for me, I think good enough. Most of my staffs are not my relative. Because it's not because I don't want to employ them. First of all, I'm from a remote place. Most of my relatives have not learned the area I'm operating.
Yes.
Like I don't have engineers, and then I don't have people who have done hotel management. I don't have people who are accountant. And my children I have with them, they have said, Daddy, with us we want to go and try elsewhere. Continue with that one. So that one has given me some time, some chance of now using the non-relatives. And the non-relatives, I'm working well with them. Some of them I've worked with them when they were young. Now they're even old.
You've mentored them.
I've mentored them, and we work well with them.
Beautiful.
So that's my that's how mine was a bit different, because I would have gotten people of my brothers, sisters, but I told you
Anyway,
that all of them passed away. So those the few I educated, they're in different areas, like my children. And then the children of my eldest brother is also is in a different areas. So that's how it has now keep me the relative issue. I have few of them in the business.
Beautiful. Charles, quite interesting there. I see, especially, I would call it the human resource policy.
Yeah.
Letting the work go and still maintain that cordial relationship.
Yes.
In most cases, it's always bloody with organizations.
Yes.
And then the issue of really having to keep them, to keep the productivity wheels turning.
Exactly. Yeah, and I like his outlook to human resources.
Yeah.
Let employees see the place of work as a place where you get groomed and shine and build your profile.
Yeah.
And you do that by doing a great job where you are. You do that by nurturing great people where you are. If you do those two things, your departure will be on a good note. You go away with excellent skills. You will be wanted where you are going to. But two, you have also left friends that will be saying, John groomed me. When John was here, he told us to do this. When John was here, he told us to do this. At the end of the day, this business will always continue to flourish. So that is an environment where employees go in and open the umbrellas and say, let's fly in this area. It's a very good policy. Many people think that by you trying to over-control a staff and over-hedge them in, you are now containing them. These are human beings. Tell them just one thing, use this as a platform to build all the credentials you need in the world. You could easily move from here until you become a Sheraton manager. But you started from Navy. And I would still be proud that it's you, it's me who gave you the wings. So letting them do that is excellent.
It's a good thing.
But also when you look at how he talks about how the youth can take advantage of opportunities, one thing that he put out there, but in a very good way, is do not mind about the title of the business. Mind about the benefit it's going to give to the customer. The title is a toilet. The benefit is convenience. Something I love to go to and I will always bring the money to.
And that's the problem you're solving.
Exactly. So if you can concentrate on getting the solution and then seeing what contribution am I making for the welfare of society, the title can be anything. Don't mind about that. But also when it comes to relatives, he clearly put it that if they were to have the skills, they could easily compete with other people and they would be in the business. I'm not just going to bring anybody from the village and make them to start running a roller for a bridge construction just because we came from the same village. If you have the skills, let's have you on board. If there are no skills and these profits are created by people with skills, a portion of the profit I will get, I will give you to go to school from my village. So you don't necessarily become a nice person to your villagers by bringing them to add no value to the business for the sake of being nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Viewers, again, you can be part of this discussion. You can use that WhatsApp number, which we're going to show you on screen, to actually send in your question or comments. But KG, I have someone here from Nebi already. Dennis is saying, how would you encourage and motivate the youth on starting up and keeping their business great?
Thank you, Dennis. I think I've said it. I said, first of all, the youth should be disciplined to the money they are put in their business. Oftentimes, you find when youths have started business, the excitement becomes too high. We have a happening place in Nebi there called Matonge. You will find the youth will also feel that should go to Matonge. And then today they give programs. Let's go to Matonge, we go to Arua, we do this. Business money is business money. You have to be very, very careful with your money. It is your money. But if you squander it, the business will not see even 1 decade. That's true. Which is not good. So the main thing is discipline.
Beautiful.
Discipline in handling money. Then 2, networking. The youths in Nebi and everywhere, network. Don't look at your business colleague as an opponent. You are now brothers in that business. You can even come to me. Don't see that KG is a very big person. No. I started also, other people supported me. I've said it was John Kayumpato. You people in Nebi, you know him very well. His company is called Joka Enterprises. He's the one who mentored me. If he had chased me away, I was not going to be where I am. So why don't I pay back to the youths also? Because there are so many youths there who have come to me and have not for money but for advice. And they have progressed. Many youths in Parombo can stand witness and they are doing very well. So the main thing is being loyal and building networks.
I hear you.
But the problem I've seen with our youths these days, you will find if somebody is progressing, they want to suppress that person down, which is not good.
Thank you, KG. Thank you, KG. And I have a question here. I think you will take a bit, and Charles will come in at the same time. James from Barra is saying, thanks, KG. How do you advise people working with loans so as to keep moving to avoid loans eating up businesses and yourself? He's basically saying, how do you advise them, advise people with loans to really manage them well, to avoid the loans eating them up together with their business?
Yeah, my brother from Barara, that's a very good question. What you should do before you go for loan, you look at the kind of business you want to do. Just don't go for loan because there is a loan. For example, if you want to do, you want to furnish maybe your hotel. To me now, I've learned it is not good to get money for construction work in hotel business when the house is not yet complete.
Yes.
So you better hold on, because the building is not going anywhere. He's not demanding you to buy food. He's not demanding you to take it to the hospital. It will stand there. You struggle, God will give you money, and then when you finish the building, then you can ask for money for furnishing, because that one will not take you long, and you will start getting business.
Yes, correct.
And then not only that, even if you are getting loan for other businesses, you should understand that is this business I'm getting is supposed to pay back the money. And then also we should also avoid this long period loan. You know, this long period loan, it also, you pay also a lot of interest, and you'll find it's a lot of money. So you'll find by the time you are reaching grace period, the interest alone has eaten a lot of money from you.
Yes.
So it is you, it goes back to you, the person who want to get the loan, because I don't know the kind of business you want to do, but me, I've just given you a tip, but you should understand the kind of business you are doing and how long you can pay the money.
Beautiful. Charles, as you come in, I want you to merge something here from Emmanuel, Abiti Emmanuel. He's saying, if I'm given, he's saying, good afternoon, Edie, Charles, Ochichi, and the entire panel. If I'm given a gross period of 6 months and I keep servicing the interest within 6 months and the period collapses without full payment, can my security be taken, or I can request for more period? Very innocent question.
Very innocent indeed. The grace period you have been given, first of all, it was premised on the assumptions that you shared with your lender, that you can get this money at a particular rate. By the time the period is getting over and you have not fully paid up, the bank will look at your efforts in the past. Did they, right from the beginning, struggle with you to bring the money? If that is the case, you're in trouble. But if in between you've been fairly consistent and the bank has been saying, we made a wrong assumption, he cannot afford $500,000 every quarter. But he's struggling, he's getting 450, 420, 410. By the time that is done, you have grounds to negotiate for extension of the loan period. And that one is called loan restructuring. And it's informed by what is on the ground and the way you have behaved.
I hear you.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Then I have Isaac Zendia. Isaac is watching us from Juba. He's saying, hello, I'm so grateful for the show. I'm honored for these business fathers. I'm watching from South Sudan and a fresh graduate, wondering how to start up a business without yet much capital. I think, Charles, you can touch that a bit. He doesn't have much money.
Yeah, I keep on telling people that what you call much money, it may be 1 million. To somebody again, it will be little money. Then again, when you say 10 million, somebody again will say that's little money. In other words, at any one time, there's always need for more money. But you need to go to an enterprise or a size of enterprise that reflects the resources you have at a particular time. Fully aware that the only way you can make that to grow is build a growing customer base. And that comes from meeting the expectations of your customers and being able to compete with whoever is trying to take them from your space, and then coming up with what KG has told us, the financial discipline. You got money from the customer yesterday. There was a profit. Did you keep the capital that you used to serve the customer? How about the profit that you got? Did you eat it all? If you kept the capital and also plowed back part of the profit, you're on your way to greatness. You will move from being a cameraman on foot to a cameraman with a bicycle to a motorcycle, and then later you begin to become a person who handles government contracts.
Beautiful.
So the starting point, get on what you can manage with existing resources.
Great, great, great. KG, I have Fidel. Fidel is saying, with this pandemic incidents, I know you touched this a little, he's saying, how did you keep afloat and manage through?
Yeah, it's a good question. we are struggling, but the struggles needs to be, you need to continue. We are, because in that clip you saw, I said, for now we are not making any profit. We are just getting money to pay the workers, to sustain the workers. Because the moment we allow the workers to leave the company, both hotel and construction, you can see the hell we shall be in. So we are struggling, hoping maybe for the better. With the time, maybe things will improve. The prayer is that COVID should not come back. The prayer is that this Ukraine war should really subside. God should help us, and then maybe we shall take on when things stabilizes. Otherwise, with this COVID pandemic, we are not doing well. It has been a tough run, and it's still a tough run.
Okay, here. Charles, I have someone here is saying, thank you, Mr. Chichi. I'm a subsistence farmer from Gulu, and I wish to change my farming practice to a commercial one in a 5 acres of land, in a 5-acre piece of land. Advise me on how, because most seeds we buy are fake, and also we don't have technical agronomists. It's basically, he wants to make that transition from subsistence to commercial in a 5-acre piece.
It's a good ambition, and I normally tell people that almost everywhere in this country and almost in every sector that you want to be in, you are not the first. Somebody has been there in Gulu. Now, somebody in Gulu there has been able to get the right seeds. Not everybody in Gulu planted and they ended up with fake seeds. Somebody got it right. Locate that person. There is somebody somewhere who has got a solution to the challenge you are going through. The only thing is just to borrow that single phrase that was put in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7. It says, ask and shall receive. Knock at the door of an agricultural officer who could come and help you, and the door will be open. Seek for another opinion from somewhere, and along the way you will be able to get solutions. So it's a great thing to first of all recognize that you're a peasant and you're underutilizing the 5 acres of land, and there is a better way of using them. Now move a step further by now seeking for information, and when you get that information, apply it.
Beautiful.
You'll move.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me move back to you, KG. I have someone here. He's from Masindi. It's Daniel Eriko Akulo. He's saying, KG, having gone through the experience of loans with the challenges you had, did you again access loan after attending the training? And how is it, or has it taken you?
It's a good person.
Indeed.
Very interesting.
And the laughter tells you a lot. Not having done that.
You
how
know,
is it now?
when you are a businessman, there is no way you will cast yourself that you cannot pick a loan.
You never said that.
Obviously, you need a loan.
Yes.
But you have to be very calculative. What kind of loan am I picking? Where am I taking it? How long am I taking to pay it?
Yes.
What kind of loan? Where am I taking it? How long can I take to pay? So these days, if I'm going for a loan, I'll go for a loan which cannot take me more than 6 months, period.
That's your principle.
Yes, anything more than 6 months, that is working. You have seen that hotel of mine. That hotel has stopped because I don't have money. And I cannot make a risk of taking a loan to finish that house. Because for sure, Charles, that house will go.
I hear you.
If I don't finish, my children and my grandchildren will finish it. But I don't want my children and my grandchildren to say, you see, Daddy borrowed a lot of money, now all the investment has gone. You know? So it is the type of loan we are picking. You have to understand it. But as a businessman, you cannot go minus a loan. But what you are picking.
Thank you, KG.
Yeah.
Charles, yes.
Just on the same thing, there's a phrase that normally says, action is equal to results plus wisdom. And results can be negative or positive. But there's always wisdom as a constant. Which action did you take? You got the results, they were negative. What lesson did you get? After getting the wisdom, continue again, take another action, and that next action could be borrowing again. But this time you are borrowing fully aware that last time you missed the mark because of purpose. You missed the mark because you misunderstood the word interest rate. You misunderstood the word grace period. This time read it again and again and make sure that you are clear with it. Next, just know that cash flow is real. Will the money flow in every quarter? Where from?
Exactly.
Where from? So I want to leave that fellow with that phrase which says, whenever you take action, it will always give you results plus wisdom. You can call it lessons, but wisdom is better. Because wisdom means you are better off than before. But the results could have been negative, very painful, but you are better off than before you took the action.
I see.
Yes.
Beautiful. Then I have someone here. He's saying, hello, thank you for the good presentation. I'm a junior consultant with a certain company, but would like to know what it takes to start my own consultation firm. This is Joseph from NTV. Charles.
You start with the people who will trust you the most, because the biggest thing with consumers is to be experimented. Nobody wants to use their good money on somebody who has not done anything before. But if it is your uncle who has known you, who knows what you can do, he will say, let me give you a chance. You can start with people who will give you that benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, consultancy is a space where every contract that you complete will speak to the next contract. There is no saying you will get familiar, you will get used. Every day is fresh.
That's what it is.
It's like a job of a coach in the Premier League.
I hear you.
Every match must be won. If not, we now want to write you up for just this single match.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, I have someone watching from Ginger. Menya is saying, I'm Menya from Ginger. How can one protect his or her business ideas from other people?
I want to say this. Do not try to protect the business idea from other people. Many people will not even think it is worth talking about it. There are no people waiting somewhere saying, I'm looking for somebody's idea and then run with it tomorrow. Everybody is busy with their things, especially serious people. So don't waste your time delaying to get started with your idea, because if you now talk this way, talk the other way, maybe somebody will run with that idea. Very, very, very few people are waiting to grab an idea. Very few. People are already engaged and they are tapping into challenges they have not even exhausted with the current business ideas they are implementing.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. Again, someone is saying, hi Tim, watching from UAE, that's United Arab Emirates. Can I begin a business without my presence? KG, you can start and then Charles comes in.
Well, I don't know how much he trusts the people who is going to be who is going to hold the steering of the business. There are a lot of experience I've seen, especially for people who stay outside. I've seen people remit money, by the way, in the country. They pick on their relatives to build for them a house, and you will find the house is not built. They will always tell him that we have built. The person will come and see nothing on the ground. I've heard of people jumping from high floor, dying because they have lost money. And there are people who have clashed with the family because their money were eaten, squandered. Because, of course, you know, business is something, first of all, you have to, even Indians who are doing business, the Indian will first start the business himself. And then in the process, it brings in the children driving. But now giving money to somebody to start your business and you are in United Arab Emirates, you know, especially the relatives, you can cause you problem. Yes, and then even other people. So let him think twice. Unless the source where he's going to send the money, he trusts them, but it is always very difficult to trust people with the money.
It's a tricky one.
That's to me, I'm saying it's a tricky one.
I hear you.
Charles maybe can add on.
Charles, in the interest of time, because I have like 100 questions.
Very good. Very quickly on that one, I just want to concur with him. First of all, if you are a absentee business owner, first know that business A to Z. know how it works. Number two, try to put up systems for which you yourself will be monitoring how the systems are producing records and reports. And then obviously, try to make sure the person you appoint to lead in that enterprise walks and represents your emotions, your desires, your everything.
Your best interests.
So in other words, selecting that one person that will represent you is not something you just do through saying we're from the same church. It can't help.
That's a good one. Now, I have a room, Simon Peter. He's an inspector of schools from Amoria. He's saying, I thank you for these brilliant ideas. May you give guidance to our teachers who have had multiple loans and have consequently had their performance in classroom negatively affected.
First of all, the moment you take so many loans, they tell something about you. The person who gave you the loan earlier on, and you don't want to go back to them, it speaks volumes about what you are trying to achieve. You are fully loaned out, but you are now hiding those other loans so as to be given more loans. In the process, you think you are defeating the system. It catches up with you. Loans have got what you call fixed obligation, fixed repayment schedules. And because of that fixed nature, and because they are properly documented, a loan will disrupt your soberness and your ability to teach or to do any other job you are doing daytime. So don't take loans lightly. Loans can affect your soberness. Loans can affect your professionalism. Loans can affect your integrity in society. Because as you are hiding from this lender to another one and another one, they will suddenly discover that all of them are looking for you, and they will unite. They will unite, and you will be cornered.
It can be a tough one.
Yes.
Good one, Charles. I have Diana. Diana is from Nebi. He's saying, thanks for the show. How best can I protect my business from employees who come with wrong intentions? I think we can start with KG there.
I think Chichi has said it all. Now we are on digital in system. The only way you can protect the business is to understand the person is going to put, and then digitalize the business, because these are people who we are in digital era. He digitalize. He has to monitor this business 24/7.
I hear you.
But if you give it, Diana, if you give it that this is the son of my sister, this is my brother, this do business, I want results.
That's how you get cooked.
You may regret.
Charles, I have an interesting one. Paul from Namugongo. He's saying, thanks for the program. How can someone avoid gambling in business? Quite loaded, gambling, but...
Yeah, the word gambling, you are just saying, let me just try and see what happens.
Yes.
The first thing you will have made a mistake on is customers are not just met by accident. You must know who will buy the solutions you are going to sell. You don't just say, let me plant this type of a pumpkin. You never know, there might be somebody who will be interested by the time I harvest it. Don't. Gambling does not fit into the business arena, because every resource must be put to serve a particular customer. And that particular customer has got minimum expectations. That particular customer also has got options. So gambling, please don't even get there. But there's what you call formal gambling businesses. Go and play that one as a game. But don't do it when you are starting a school and say, let me just start a school here. You never know, babies might be born. By the time I start a nursery, there might be babies. Please project whether babies will be born before you start that nursery school.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, I have someone here suffering. He's from Chenjojo. He's saying he's Kasaija. He's saying, I would like you to help me address the issue of animal farming. They delay to bring back money and we invest a lot.
Animal farming is a broad word, and if you had specified which particular livestock he was speaking, it would be okay. But it doesn't really matter. Livestock farming, it can be one of the most stable, much more stable than even crop farming, because it can be more resilient to two things. One, seasons, seasonality. Two, it can also be very resilient to price changes, because a cow does not have to be sold by July. But your harvest, your crop that you are producing, by July everybody's harvesting in July, and the price must collapse. That's not the same with livestock. So if you are looking for where there are challenges, when you leave livestock and you go to crop, you will again lament and just say, I don't know what to do with the crop farming because I plowed a lot of maize, but the prices have collapsed.
Yes, yes.
But I say this, there's no sector you go into in the private sector without the key success factors. How do you know those? By looking at those who have been in that game before. Remember what I talked about? Ask, seek, knock. You will get the wisdom to be in any sector.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have Honorable Kizito from NEBI. I think you know him. He's saying the person you appoint to a board must have a vision, must share a vision. I think he's trying to speak to the issue of, you know, the board appointment and stuff like that. Okay, I have quite a number of questions here coming in, but I don't want to steal your time, KG, a bit, because, I mean, and I feel it's important you mention to our viewers where you want to see your business, let's say in the next probably 5 years or even beyond.
Yeah, thank you. I want to see my business prosper even if I retire, because you see me here now, I'm clocking 60 years. The strength I used to have is reducing. The vigor I used to push business is also reducing, because when you are aging, you remain now advisors. So I'm looking at a level whereby the business should continue, whether I'm not there. That's why, one, I'm not interested in changing my board very frequent. Let them be with me. They know what I'm doing, so that when I retire, like somebody was talking about the animals. Right now, I'm opening where to retire. I'm keeping cows and goats. So even if I keep cows and goats, I can go there, but the business should continue. And there are people who have stayed in the business for some time. They understand the business. They are now like my children. So they should also make sure that the business continues. And then if some of my children want to join them, they join them. They move together. Not that my children should go and start chasing them away, because they are the people I move with, I have worked with them, and they have known the business. So let them also learn with them. They continue. If I'm not there, the business should be there, because it is now a family business. So I look at these other staffs I'm working with them also as my family. Even if I retire from the business, they should continue with the business.
I hear you.
So that's what I'm planning.
Beautiful.
And I want the business to continue.
I hear you. What be your last word as I bring in Charles to wrap up us?
My last word is, one, I want to thank the government for bringing peace in the country. Minus peace, we wouldn't have done all this, and we wouldn't have reached where we are. The main thing is the peace. And then two, government should give us in Greater West Nile, in West Nile and Greater Northern Uganda and other areas in Uganda, government should look at some of these business people who can act as a consultant in some of those projects. I'm very happy. I heard from my president some 2 weeks ago. He has tasked Minister of Agriculture to pick on some business people who want to do agriculture if they have 50 acres and above, and the government is going to support them. In fact, this thing should have been done yesterday. They have over-delayed. This is the right time, which is going to, this is the right time people are going to benefit from government. Because some of these projects, I've been talking about it in so many fora. We should have some people as
the catalysts.
They act as advisors. Like, for example, I'm keeping goats and cows. There are people who goes to me in the farm to learn how I'm keeping my goats and how I'm keeping my cows. And now they have even opened areas of keeping goats and cows. But it is not bad to give those goats, cows to a local person there that you are fighting poverty. That person has never learned how to keep goats. He has never learned how to keep cows. This is a person who have never married for the children. Now the children will put him on pressure that, daddy, you have not married for me, get these goats and cow.
Yes.
You marry for me.
Yes.
You don't, the child will beat you.
Yeah.
And the elders will support him. So this program the president is fighting for, my beloved president, fight and don't relax. Let these people who have 50 acres to be supported.
Support the others.
Like for example, I have land which is more than 200 acres. On top I'm keeping cows. Down I can cultivate. Now if government can go and dig for me valley dam, and then the water up there, the cow is, I'm pumping for the cow to drink, and then the same water I use for irrigating my garden down. And people will go and learn from there.
From the, how to handle that.
How to handle.
Thank you,
So,
KG.
yeah.
That's well put. Charles, how do we wrap this up?
Today's session has been extremely informative in many ways. One, the journey of continued success relies with the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Two, most entrepreneurs started their game as youth. But when they started the journey as youth, they had no any other external support, but most of them relied on what they had to take off. However, even when they have taken off, as a nation we need to recognize that these so-called successful, in quotes, entrepreneurs in different parts of the country require structured, well-articulated and well-delivered business solutions, short of which we lose people who inspire the youth, we lose people who pay taxes, and we lose people who give quality jobs. So the sort of KG just tells government that please attend to the entire private sector development spectrum.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well put.
Yes.
Viewers, that's all the time we had this afternoon, and I'm sure you picked very good lessons. I've been your host, Charles Boji. Thank you, KG, at Bango from NEBI. Thank you, Charles, from Enterprise Uganda. Until next time, have a good evening. God bless.